Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can start, and I'll stop sharing my screen shortly, and my colleague Dagmar is going to take over. By way of introduction, Dagmar is an investor, an entrepreneur herself, and her key critical skills that I think necessary for entrepreneurs, and why she's here today is truly her passion. She helps entrepreneurs craft documents that will enable them get funding. I think most of us struggle to get into the door of the financiers, and we struggle to how do we get across the value proposition and the strategy in which we're gonna accumulate cash and our cash flow and tabulate all of that. Dagmar is an expert at that, and she is available to assist each and every one of us. And there is a cost, though, in what she is offering. And at the end of this, she will definitely share her personal details. Without any further ado, I would like to introduce my friend, Dagmar Veiling. Dagmar, over to you.
Okay, thanks very much, Solela. Thanks very much for the Wadhwani Foundation for inviting me. Also some thanks to Charles, please. So let me just see, what do we do today? I share my presentation I prepared. Although it's more guideline for me, I always like to draw from my, here in South Africa now, over 10 years experience in this field. So, and I give you a couple of stories, what I experienced here and learned from the challenges entrepreneurs have and the different languages financiers and entrepreneurs are speaking. Okay, so the topic of today is how to present to investors. So Lila was so lovely and introduced myself, so let me just do that short and crisp. My name is Dagmar Breiling-Marais. I'm a funding strategist, I'm a serial entrepreneur, I'm the CEO here at Funding Connection. What do? We assist entrepreneurs accessing funding. That means we have a look at commercial banks, government institutions, different funds, investors, and we do that by drafting business plans, the financial forecast, in some cases, feasibility studies, pitch decks, whatever our clients need to convince an investor or a financier. So whatever I do, I'm a quite strategic person. I always think about what is my goal? What do I want to achieve? And in most cases, when people are coming to us, they say we need money. So you need to think about, okay, investment is my goal at the end. And then, of course, with this investment, to set up a profitable and successful business. Sometimes this goal is forgotten and people think the only thing I need at the moment is money. And I don't think that's all the time true. Yeah. So first thing, so we know we want to set up a successful business. We assume we will need some funding, finance for it. So now start with your business model first. You need to be clear about it. I just got yesterday an email from somebody who says, Dagmar, I want to pitch to a couple of investors. Can't you get me in front of them? When I emailed this person back, I said, okay, how much capital do you need? For what do you need the capital? What do you expect from the investor? Yeah, there was not really any meat in the information he wrote me back. I'm not too sure how much I need. I need somebody, I want to do fintech, and I need somebody with skills and experience in this fintech. That is not a strong business model. See yourself as a partner with this investor. And it doesn't matter if we are now talking about banks, government institutions, or if we really talk about a wealthy individual who you want to invest. You need to offer them something so that they feel like they are a partner on the same level. Yeah, and you are not somebody who's begging for some cash. What I wrote down here gives you a little bit of an overview which aspects you should think about your business model. You can always have also a look at Canvas. That is a lovely business model what covers 9 different aspects of a business, and it gives you a little bit of guidance where you need some clarity. Yeah, and let's start here. What problem do you want to solve? Just offering something and are not really clear about why people should buy that, you definitely should think about it. You need to have if you want to approach later on private investor, have an engaging story, what you can communicate, why you want to do that. For me personally, I'm a numbers person. Numbers are convincing me. A story is not really convincing me, but I also know for some investors that is important. That's why it's in here. And you see that already. Not each and every investor is the same. Some say, I love the story, I want to help, I'm interested in investing. I'm more the person say, show me the numbers that can convince me, I know the market, and that's where I would be willing to invest. Think about your value proposition. What are you offering? Your unique selling points, what are your key activities? What product, what services do you want to offer? Have a look also at your competition. You have no idea, and you can see me smile. I'm in a panel of the Innovator and Innovation Club. And we do sometimes meetings and people present their great innovative ideas. And when we ask them, did you even search if something else like this exists already? Everybody says yes. And the panel, we are always Googling it and we find sometimes thousands or hundreds of thousands of pictures of something what is similar. Yeah, so have a look at your competition. Number one, also please, if you say there is no competition, that would be for an investor usually worrying. That means maybe there is no market. Keep that in mind, yeah? Second aspect, that's a big header, get clear about your business model. You need to understand how you're earning money, yeah? You need, of course, to also be, as an investor, I want to know how much capital do you need? For what do you need the capital? Yeah. What are your revenue streams? That's something what we said here on top of it, your key activities. So how are you able to earn money? What are your cost structures? I just was in a meeting also with the client and we were talking exactly about this. He said, yes, I have my revenue stream. I'm not too sure I don't even know my cost. I have no idea how much I can sell that product for. I don't even know how much my competition is charging. Okay, so my job is give them this entrepreneur some guidelines, say, okay, this is what you need now to have a look at in the next step. Be clear about it, yeah? What is your solution is another big heading here. So we talked about already your value proposition, your activities, your revenue streams. Now you need to think about your resources. What do you have to offer? Maybe it's your skill, maybe it's your expertise. Yeah. Sometimes if you don't have a specific you need a specific expertise in your setup. Let's say you want to manufacture some pharmaceutical drugs, you know, and you are good in sales, you have a partner, but you need somebody who's able to oversee the production. Yeah, don't think you need to do everything on your own. So this would be your key partner. Another key partner would be your supplier. Yeah, your team itself. Do you have already a team? I know lots of us are solo entrepreneurs. It's the same with me. This company I just started was a one-woman show. And then later on, I started adding to my team. And I was always looking for people with the different skill sets, different personalities to make this year a success. I'm a big fan of processes, and that is also something what investors will have a look at. Are you clear about how you want to deliver your products, your services, how to manufacture them? You know, so not all these points, what we are mentioning here, is suitable for each and every business. Yeah, so that's why I want to mention the most important parts, but some of them you say, okay, that's not relevant for me. That's fine, then just ignore that. Yeah. Okay, so, and then most important part, I'm always saying, if you don't have sales, whatever you want to do is a hobby. Yeah, so you need to have a clear target market. Can you segment your customers? How do you want to build customers' relationships? What is your sales strategy? Do you want to sell via Shopify online? Do you want to have a shop? Do you want to, or different shops? Do you want to supply retailers? Do you want to supply wholesalers? Be clear about these strategies. Yeah. As a manufacturer thinking about selling to the end user, in some cases it makes sense. In most cases, I personally would say no, what I experienced and seen. Yeah. Think about your distribution channels. Yeah, that is close to your sales strategy. Yeah, and of course your price strategy. Because what you want to prevent is, let's say you are a manufacturer and now you are selling via Take-A-Lot also to end users, but you also want to sell to retailers, and the retailers are competing with their own supplier against the prices on Take-A-Lot. The retailers will not be happy. Yeah. There are some ways around it as a manufacturer. I am aware of that. But I personally, if my manufacturer would and my supplier would do that, I think I would look for somebody else. Here in South Africa, you have that a little bit more mixed. Let me tell you, I'm sure you can hear that. I'm from Germany. So in Germany, it's more stricter separated. Okay, so what did we do? We know we want to set up a successful business. We are aware that we need investment. We are now clear about our business model. So now, I also want you to think about what you can expect from an investor. Yeah, be clear about that. Most of the clients who are coming to us, they are only interested in capital. But if you want to approach a fund, an angel investor, or maybe your supplier, or maybe your customer as an investor in your business, you can also get other things from an investor, and they can be as compelling as capital, maybe access to a market. Yeah. Maybe there is somebody you would like to partner with. They are already registered with all these big retailers. And it's an easy and shortcut for you to get in there. Maybe you need somebody who has specific skills and expertise you don't. And you would like to partner with the not only getting capital, but also getting some expertise and skills. You also have maybe access to other resources of them. Maybe they have a laboratory for some research, or you understand what I'm talking about. And in some cases also they offer guidance and mentorship. Some of the government institutions here in South Africa do that. There are a couple of other institutions, also commercial banks sometimes offer that, but also individual investors, some funds or angel investors will also offer a mix out of it. Think about it, what you really need. Yeah, get clear again about what you want to achieve. So then, of course, the other side is, what does the investor expect from you? That is also something what I can see, what most entrepreneurs are not aware of. They don't think about it. Yeah. So this is not really in any particular order. It's just I went through my head and I thought about it. Okay, what do investors may expect from you? In some cases, they most of them want you to know the market, because it makes no sense to set up a business and you don't know who your customers are. Yeah, they expect a strong team. They expect some, of course, return on investment. And it depends also on the investor you find. If it is a financier, they want interest rate, monthly repayments, they are happy. If you have an angel investor, they want to have an exit strategy. And then after a couple of years, they want to get, I don't know, their investments ×3, ×5 back and are out of it. Yeah. They want you to have access to the market. Do you know how to find your customers? Where do you find them? Yeah. In some cases, they also want some long-term visions and a plan. Some financiers usually don't want to have that too long. They say, we're giving you 10 million rand now, or $1 million now, and you need to pay it back in 5 years or in 10 years, and that is fine. And we want to have the plan how you want to grow in this time, but only seeing what this investment, what the impact of this investment is. Some investors also want to see scalability. These are usually the angel investors. They want 3 to 5 times their investment back. Yeah, you only can get this high investment back, this high return on invest, if your business is scalable. In some cases, please don't forget that they also want maybe to have a say in your business decisions. Yeah, if you're taking an equity partner on as an investor, I'm joking, and I'm always say, you know what, if you have an equity partner or a business partner in your business, it's a little bit like a marriage. Make sure you know exactly where the big vision you two have. Yeah, make sure the tasks are clearly stated. This is your responsibility. This is my responsibility. These are your benefits. These are my benefits. Be clear about that. Don't forget these things. I've seen that also a couple of times, that somebody said, we needed this person in the beginning. We just needed the cash from this person. This person is doing nothing here, and now we need to get this person out because my business partner is jeopardizing the business. Yeah. Sit down, take your time. I know it's exciting. Somebody says you need some money, here's the cash, I'm getting 50 or 40% of your business. Lots of people say, oh, everything else I'm thinking about later. Don't do that. Yeah, think about it and discuss this with your business partner. Sit down and say, okay, what is your responsibilities? What do you expect me to do? How can we share profits? You know, so all these things need to be the best written down. It doesn't need to be from a lawyer, but definitely be clear about it. If it's a little bit more money, I would definitely recommend using a lawyer to do these agreements. Yeah. So they want to see, of course, also your skills and expertise. What do you know about this market? Yeah. In some cases, specifically if you are a startup, you want to attract an investor, an angel investor. They want to see if you have already some traction. Were you able to produce your product or services? Were you able to sell it already? What did the market say? Think about these things. Yeah. A clear exit strategy is for an equity partner, can be also important. Yeah. And that means you also need to know what exit strategy does my equity partner want to do. Will they now sell the shares to somebody else? Am I getting the shares offered first? What is the price the shares will be? Yeah. Be clear about it. An investor, of course, always expects transparency. It doesn't matter if it's a commercial bank, government institutions. They want, of course, to be informed on a regular basis how your business is doing. Yeah. And if you go to a bank, they have, in any case, they have access to your bank account at any given time. They see how your business is doing. Yeah. Realistic startup costs. I'm getting lots of inquiries also here at Funding Connection. And when I ask people, okay, so how much capital do you need? 120 million rand. I said, okay. So, and for what exactly? Yes, we want to buy some property and some land and want to build and then set up I don't know, industrial zone, or like it's a shopping mall. Okay, let's do that easy. So, but how do you come up with your 120 million rand? You have, they don't have offer to purchase for the property. Okay, so it's guesstimations over guesstimations. Yeah, so you need to have an offer to purchase. You need to have the zoning correct in this idea. You need to have the building plans already. You need to have the quantity surveyors jobs done, and these all cost money up front. Yeah, but the financier is usually not willing to pay for these things. I wouldn't pay for zoning and the quantity surveyor if I don't even have an offer to purchase. So take your time with these things, be prepared, because if you are well prepared, your chances again to raise the capital are increasing dramatically. Take your time for all these aspects. Yeah. Okay, I've spoken to Xulela, and we definitely will do another webinar about a pitch deck, but I still wanted to have this here included to just give you an idea. A pitch deck is usually used if you want to approach individual investors. It's usually not used if you want to approach commercial banks. Only if it's really, really big projects, then it makes sense. What is a pitch deck? It's a carrot. Yeah. It's not a fully fledged business plan. 10, 12 pages is fine. Give an overview. Think about what they would be interested, and investors are always interested in their return on investment. Yeah, that is the carrot you need to explain to them. I'm just going through this in a couple of seconds. You need to explain to them exactly what you want to offer, your expertise, your access to the market, your profitability, your investment, for what exactly you need this. These are the pages of a pitch deck, extracted information from a business plan. And then if you are asked to present that, do that short and crisp, leave some room for questions at the end. Yeah. Okay, so let me just go here through these topics. I make that a little bit bigger. I'm not too sure, so that you all are also able to read that. State the problem. Okay, so what problems are you solving? Clear, concise, short, speak the language. Keep in mind, you want the money from them, so you need to speak the language of the investor. And I'm not speaking about Chinese or German or English. I'm speaking about using their words, what they would use, the solution. So after the problem, you need to explain the solution, your unique selling points, your features, your benefits of your product or service. Specifically, if you, I don't know if this is some new technology, then this is here important to explain that without becoming too technical. Yeah. Market opportunity. You need to show the investor the size and the growth of the market you are targeting. Again, please make sure that you can't target everybody. Yeah, if something is for everybody, it's for nobody. Nobody of us will feel, oh, it's for everybody, I want it. But if I say it is only for successful entrepreneurs, and I'm narrowed even further down in the service industry, you feel, okay, so that is maybe something for me. Yes, don't be too technical. Explain the uniqueness of your product or your services, how your clients or customers are saving some time or money or some headaches sometimes. Yeah. So the business model is concentrating here about how to generate the revenue and how to make a profit. So you have some pricing strategies, you have some sales channels. You see it's repeating from the beginning where I said you need to have clarity about these things because you need this here. Yeah. Customer acquisition cost. If you use online marketing, it's definitely quite easy because we usually funding connection itself. We know exactly for every rand we spend, these are the rands we are getting out of it. So, and that should be also possible for you to do these things. You please always need to have a look at your competition. An experienced investor is usually only investing in a market they are aware of and they know. And if you say there is no competition and they know there is a competition, you're losing credibility. A couple of times what I saw is that people said, there is no competition, nobody is doing what I'm doing. And I'm saying, but there is a super, specifically, let me think, chicken farms. I had that lots of times, and I have every time I have these discussion, yeah, we setting up a chicken farm in our area, there is no competition. I said, but what is your product? Your product is at the end of the day, a fresh chicken, for me to eat. So I can go to any of the supermarkets around you and buy the chicken there. So, but having competition is not a bad thing. Don't underestimate that. Having competition means that there's a market for what you want to do. Is it sometimes a saturated market? Yes, we don't need to talk about it, but in general, there's competition. It means there's a market. One thing is what I always like to highlight, that I'm living here in South Africa, and I know in South Africa there are lots of things they are not discovered, yeah, or not offered in areas. If you go to Germany, whatever idea you have, there are already minimum 3 to 5 people, they have a similar idea, yeah, and realized it already before you started. So there is definitely an opportunity, but if you say, I want to do something and nobody has done that, but you still think about how people are satisfying their needs at the moment. If you as a startup and first-time entrepreneur want to set up a business, what nobody else did before, where you need to explain to your customers why they need to buy it, it is time consuming and usually costs lots of money regarding marketing. So I personally would not advise to go and do this. Team. Okay, next topic. Highlight your team, your expertise. You remember we've spoken about it in the beginning. That is also something what is important for any investor. Just understanding it's not a one-person show, because if this person is sick or on holiday, there is no business out of a sudden. You don't want that. Offer financial information, projections. Here in South Africa, we need that for 5 years. Most of the time, in some cases, 3 years is sufficient. And in some cases, even you need a 10-year financial forecast. I personally would, in a pitch deck, only put a few numbers in there. Keep in mind, the pitch deck is the carrot. Yeah. So what usually should happen after you presented the pitch deck, the investor said, I like this idea. Let me ask you some questions. Okay, I'm interested. I want now your business plan. Then they will have a look at your full set of financial forecast, at your full business plan, maybe even at all the documentations, quotations, certifications, technical drawings, whatever is relevant for your business. Okay, at the end, make sure that you clearly state what you want from the investor, from the financier, from the government institution, from the private investor, from the angel investor. Don't ask them, what can you offer me? Yeah. So I have this discussion lots of time with clients. They say, I need something between 1 million, but if they can give me 5 million, I would be happy to. This is not like a Christmas wish list here. You are a businesswoman, you are a businessman, you are an entrepreneur, you know exactly how much capital you need, and you know exactly for what you need the capital. And it's not, okay, can I have a little bit more? Okay, so let me just see. This was about the pitch deck. Now, if you're approaching your investor, do that a little bit more strategically. Just don't send your business plan, your pitch deck, your financial forecast just to apply everywhere and anywhere. It's frustrating for the financier or the investor, and it's also frustrating for you, because you need to think about what makes the most sense, and you need to think about, if you want to go to, let's say, government institutions, determine where you qualify for. is this a little bit tricky? They have 20 pages, rules and regulations, not only here in South Africa, they've done the same thing in Germany, and I'm sure they do that in all other countries. I've seen some from other countries, also from the US. So that is absolutely normal. Take your time. You want to start a business, do your research. You can do all these things on your own. That's why we are sharing this information here with you. But of course, you can always ask an expert to assist you with it. So number one is, and it's also not in any order, it's just what came up to my mind. I just added all the points, but I think what you should think about it. Identifying and targeting the right investor for your business. Number one is have a look if you want to go to financiers. Who does this, what you want to do? Who finances these things? Yeah. If you want to go to specific funds, equity funds, or fintech funds or something like this. There are also some property funds. They're specializing in financing property development. Make sure that your venture fits into their category. Otherwise, you're getting frustrated and they are getting frustrated. Understand your key elements of your investor pitch deck. What I said here before is generalizing it. Yeah. So if you want to be into property development, there are a couple of other things really critical. Permits, licenses, absolutely critical for you. You need to make sure that you cover this and inform your investor, this is what we've done, this is what we've done, this is what we've done. Yeah. So you need to determine which of the aspects I mentioned are critical for your investor to nod at the end of the day. Making it pretty for your presentation is one thing. Don't over-design. You have no, I've seen pitch decks and business plans. They looked like art. They look pretty, but that's not where an investor is looking at. An investor is looking at facts. Yeah. So put a little bit more effort into collecting the facts instead of putting lots of efforts into making it
Zaki,
can you please unmute yourself? Thank you. Okay, thanks. Then everybody can hear me. That is lovely. When you do a presentation, prepare yourself. Don't think you just put everything together. And I know myself. When I am in situations where I need to present, I'm getting quite nervous and I'm forgetting things. I'm on a regular basis reminded. I've done my second dan in karate in December. I tried it. I said to my sensei, I'm not prepared enough. My sensei said, Dagmar, you know that, you can do that. What happened? I ran totally in the wrong direction and I failed. Yeah. So then I had some extra lessons for over a week, twice a day. And then I passed. Okay. So what I want to say to you with this is, go through this presentation, prepare it, present it to family, to friends. Think about what questions your investor may have for you. Don't get, if this happens and you are sitting with the bank or with the financier in a meeting and they ask you some questions, and I know you're nervous, you may not know the answer for one or two questions. Don't be afraid to say, I'm not too sure. Let me confirm this and I will come back to you. If you say this sentence to each and every question they ask, there's a problem. Yeah, but if there is 1 or 2 questions, you may need to have a little bit of a time out, and you can then later on say, yes, I just confirm it is like that one. And I know we are all sitting sometimes there, we are absolutely nervous. We should know these things, but the brain is blank, and that is not a train smash. You definitely are able to do that. And then you say, okay, I'm just sending this information later to you. I'm sure we covered that somewhere. I'm not too sure where it is at the moment. Okay, so this is here, the next point down here is handing the questions, the objectives from investor. Listen to that. If they say, that is also something what I do lots of times in my consultations, I'm highlighting the challenges. Highlighting challenges does not mean that this idea is bad. It just means that you need to think about how to overcome these challenges. And maybe somebody says, did you think about this aspect? And you say, yes, I did. And we will be able to solve this by doing this. That is what investors want to see. Yeah. Okay, so let me just recap for you what I said. I said in the beginning, think about your goal. Your goal is either way to expand. Your goal is to set up a successful business. So, and for this, you need the investment. So you need to put all your effort into thinking about how to set up this successful business. You see what I'm doing is I'm jumping at the moment, and your focus is not to get an investor. Your focus is to set up a successful business. Because investors are usually experienced business people or experienced financiers. They know exactly what you need to have in place to set up the successful business, because they are with you there in the same boat. They want you to be successful. Yeah. And if they put some challenges into your path, it is more to strengthen your business model. It's not there to weaken it. So, and then you set up your business model, you think about it, you are clear about it, you have to think about what you're expecting from the investor or the financier. Then you think about what you can offer the financier. Keep in mind, most of the time, I really feel like I am a translator. I'm a translator between the entrepreneur and the investor. Ole Biele, Motelesi, thank you. Please mute yourself, that would be so great. Okay, so, and okay, obviously it doesn't work with the muting here. Okay, so what we, so you have the business model, you think about what you want from an investor, you think about what you can offer an investor. What can an investor or financier expect from you? Yeah. And as soon as you put yourselves in the shoes of the investor or financier, in most cases, my client understands immediately why we ask for expertise, why we are asking for offer to purchase, why we are asking for, I don't know, some bank accounts. I have another client here. I had a discussion with them this morning. They wanted to have 100 million rand, but the business has no bank account. I don't even know where to apply for, help them to raise that capital, you know, so, but you see, as soon as you put yourselves in the shoes of a financier, you say, okay, where do you want us to put the money, you know, so you need a bank account. These are small little things, don't underestimate them. Let me tell you, raising capital is not rocket science. it is not rocket science. It is most of the time really common sense. Yeah. Okay, so what do I want to mention at the end? Okay, so I would just wanted to give you our website, fundingconnection.coza. We have here our telephone numbers, our landline, and one of our cell phone numbers where you can contact us. What I definitely want to offer, and it's just in the process, so you will be the first to have access to it. So Leila, I'm having how to draft a pitch deck booklet, and I'm just approving it. It's in my queue. As soon as this is ready, I will share the link with Xolela, and then Xolela can share that with all of you. So you are subscribing to our newsletter. Please be aware of that. You can, of course, at any given time unsubscribe, and you're getting the free download how to develop a pitch deck. Also with lots of tips and software to use and all these things. So Leila, thanks very much for all of your attention. And I'm definitely having a look here now at the chat. Mr. Monroe, I can hear you. Please mute yourself. Thanks very much. And then let me just, okay, I think the first thing, let me just stop sharing here and you can see me. That is a little bit nicer. And okay. Okay, thanks very much. I hope you had some fun here. You got some insights. I'm sure you see that and you can feel that I'm really passionate about what I'm doing here. I'm sharing really all the information. I'm not holding back here. I want you, I'm having fun when you are successful. Yeah, that is at the end of the day, my biggest goal in life, making sure I'm here in South Africa at the moment, growing entrepreneurs, because I know growing an economy as an economist is the key for happiness. I'm getting now lots of trouble, but I think it's definitely a big part of satisfied life. Okay, so not a problem. I can share the slides. The slides are not really too interesting here. I think this booklet, how to do the pitch deck, will definitely be more important to you. Can we get the recording? I know there is a recording.
Yes, they will get the recording.
Okay. Okay, see Zander, no problems. There will be a recording, no worries. Rankwana is following me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Funding Connection. Every Monday morning, I'm doing a webinar there about different small little topics. Everybody can ask me questions and I'm answering everything there. Yes, you can get the booklet. Let me approve that. Okay, so my team, I told my team what to do. They designed everything. It's in my queue to approve it. You need a Twitter page. I have a Twitter page, Luliso. Africa Funding is my Twitter page. Yes. Okay. Okay, so thanks very much. Are there any specific questions at the moment? Because I can't go now through, I don't know how many comments are here. Olibogang, a funding list is difficult if you want to have some and keep in mind, there are plenty of aspects to determine if you qualify for some specific fund. If you throw now at me, I'm always telling people, it's like I'm asking you, Olibogang, please buy me a vehicle. You know, so, and if you buy my husband a Porsche, he will say that isn't fine, but I want the Harley Davidson. If you send me the Harley Davidson for the as a vehicle, I would say I would prefer the Porsche. Yeah, there are more aspects to only saying I want a vehicle or I need funding for the automotive industry. Yeah, you can set up a meeting with me on my website, and then we can dive a little bit more in detail, and I will also be able to highlight what the financier expects from you. Yeah.
Okay, Isabel has a hand up. Isabel, would you like to ask a question? You can unmute yourself.
I do. Yes, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to find out, Dagmar, have you assisted any entrepreneurs with regards to the pharmaceutical industry? Because I remember you made an example today, and that's the kind of business I'm in, and it's something that I've been working closely with Charles with, so I definitely need a one-on-one session to take it further.
Yes, we have done that, you see, so that's me. I raised, I don't know, a couple of tens of billions of rands. Yeah. So in all different industries, I don't know how many, 20,000 SMMEs we had. So it's a big number. I've done this before. Okay, so definitely set up a meeting, Isabel, and then we just can go through this. And I'm also pointing out, like I said, I'm pointing out the challenges, and it does not mean that it's not possible. It's just highlighting what financiers will see and giving you the opportunity to find some solutions.
Yes, awesome. Just at the back of what Dagmar has said, each and every one of you will receive a recording of this. That's one. Secondly, you will all have contact details of Dagmar so that you can reach out to her. But let me be honest, you'll only get that tomorrow, not today.
Yeah, and like I said, please give me some time. I really want to go through it, and then I will release it. Yeah.
Just my last question on that. With you helping entrepreneurs within the pharmaceutical industry, is it in any African country, or is it just specifically South Africa?
Okay, so what I've done as far in the pharmaceutical industry was definitely here in South Africa. The game of money is international. Yeah. Okay. So there's definitely, I'm not too sure which country you are in. There are some countries it's difficult to raise capital, crazy inflation rates and interest rates. But you get my contact details, drop me an email, and then I can say yes, makes sense to have a meeting, Isabel. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
I saw another hand, but it disappeared. Motalepule, I see you unmuted. And Tabisang, you'll be next. And Alfred, you'll be the following one.
Thank you very much, sir.
Hello.
I just have a question regarding getting funding if you don't have a prototype, but you do have a business idea. Is it possible?
It's difficult. Okay, because now let's say you're asking me for R1 million to develop your prototype. Now this prototype, number one is we don't even know if it is working. Okay. Number two is we don't even know if there's a market. It's a high risk. That must be somebody who is really in love with your product and say, I'm willing to take the risk. You can, I'm not too sure, are you in South Africa?
Yes, I'm in South Africa.
You are in South Africa. Contact TIA, Technology Innovation Agency. They are working together with some universities, and they can help you to develop a prototype. And there's some funding available.
Okay, no, thank you very
should you
much.
need a contact in terms for Tia, let me know, but not today. I have a busy day after this afternoon. Tomorrow you can just touch base with me. I'll make sure that I'll introduce you to one of the managers there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, Alfred, you have the floor.
Okay, so I'm not too sure. I have one Alfred here who asked me who has to pitch and wants to set up a meeting with me. That's not a problem. We can prepare that together. I'm more than happy to just go through your pitch deck presentation, have a look at it, see if it is suitable, and then maybe even listen to you going through your pitch just to see, okay, so I would do that like this. Keep always in mind, at the end of the day, your personality needs to shine. Yeah, that is what financiers or investors want to see. They want to get to know you. How are you handling also pressure, of course? Yeah. Okay.
Matalepule, I think you have the floor. It's your turn.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
Sipho.
very much, sir. I would also like to know if it's possible for me to have a one-on-one with Dagmar. Please.
Yes, not a problem. Go onto my website. You can book that. I'm charging 660 Rand, 45 minutes, and then we can do that. Yes.
Okay, thank you
Funding
very
Connection
much.
is a business. We are not a non-for-profit organization.
Okay, thank you.
Sipho, you have your hand up. Thank you. You have the floor.
Hello, Dagmar. I sent a question there in the chat there. I'm not sure. I think it's after I went through a couple of chats. It says how to fund in a case where a social economic problem could be assisted with the collaboration of NPOs and PTYs. My question is actually asking, like, is it viable to actually belong to both parties, or where you identify a situation in the community where, with the help of the community, you have this NPO that could work, and then we have this also private company that could actually help maximize its impact, like a marketing company like yours. Do you think it's viable? And in terms of like, how do you put up a package deal, or maybe like, what do you call it again? Pitch deck, yeah. Is it something that is actually viable or something of that sort? Because for 10 years I've been doing cultural exchanges between South Africa and Germany, volunteering, and
Sipho? You're speaking so fast. I hardly can follow you. Okay, so let me just. So you said you have both. There's no problem having an NP non-profit organization and a business. Yeah, and the business and that can work in different ways. Sometimes the non-profit organization can raise donations, and the business is then offers the services to this NPO and gets paid for it. Yeah, you can do that. That's not a problem. So you can, of course, also have a business, and then you say it's a social enterprise, and most of the profits then go to the NPO to help this NPO. There are a couple of setups you can definitely do. Again, the question is always who do you want to approach? What do you want to achieve?
Yeah, the government and the parents.
So government and parents.
Target market. I want kids. They are unlimited in this country.
Okay, so I assume that the kids are the beneficiaries. The kids will not pay you.
Oh, no. The ones that could will pay. The ones that can't, we'll work out a model. Because it's like a camping. It's a camping type of setup that I was experienced to. Where like you go to Germany, and then you have these parents that are paying for their children to go to camp. And then I am coming in as this group from South Africa, volunteering to go teach these children that not every African knows how to bang the drum, or not every Chinese knows Kung Fu. Okay, now you are freezing. I'm not sure if my network or what. Hello?
No, we can hear you. Hi, Sipho, we can hear you. Sipho, may I suggest I will share Dagmar's details, with each and everyone who has RSVP'd, including you. So I think you should set up a one-on-one with Dagmar, so you guys can unpack this in detail. I don't want you to use this session as a consultation, but I would like more pointed questions. But thank you, Sipho, for that. I think you are on the money, and there might be an opportunity for you in this space where you are at. Paul, I see your hand. I think we've lost Dagmar. I'm about to be on load shedding myself. So, Paul, you can ask your question, and I will pass it on to Dagmar when she joins again.
Okay, no, thank you very much. Now, I just wanted to check in terms of manufacturing, if we still have grants available to assist those who are in the manufacturing space.
Sipho, I'm not the right person to say yes or no, but I know we still do, purely because of the economy. And I don't know if you follow IDC well in terms of what they are doing and in terms of their funding opportunities that they have. And hopefully in the next maybe in July, I'll have IDC as one of the presenters here, because that question, you're not the first one to ask me that or to ask it in one of our sessions, but I think definitely we will have IDC as part of this conversation in July, definitely not in the next 2 months, but definitely in July. The short answer to your question, yes, there is. I went all around. Charles, I don't know if you wanted to say parting words. And Dagmar is load shedding that. She's just typed that to me. Unfortunately, she's not going to be able to join back in. Charles, did you want to say some parting words?
Sure, thanks, Kolela. I think I wanted firstly to say thank you to you and to Dagmar for putting this webinar together. I think it was absolutely insightful, and I'm sure every single attendee got value from this, and also now have a much better understanding of what the funding and investment process is all about. That's it. Thank you to all of the attendees. Thank you. I think at some point I noticed we had more than 100 people in the room. I think that's amazing. And thank you to everybody who attended. And I'm looking forward to the next one. That's it from my side. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Charles. Charles is a leader for the Wadhwani Foundation in Africa, and I actually report to him on some of these things that I do. So thank you, Charles, for that. To everyone, so the next masterclass, you will have an invite, and it will be posted on social media as usual. And please do share it with your colleagues who are entrepreneurs, because I would like to build a bigger room of entrepreneurs. I see Dagmar is back again. So Dagmar, we had a question about what are the funding opportunities in the manufacturing space?
Okay, so in general, there are a couple of opportunities. Okay, IDC can do that, CIFA can do that, NEF can do that here in South Africa, Masizizane Fund can do that. There are some commercial banks. They also have enterprise development funds. If you're looking for a smaller own contribution, they are able to do that, but they all have individual rules and regulations. And like I said before, only manufacturing space is not good enough really for me to be able to advise that is the best option or this is the best option. Yeah, sorry, we had load shedding, unexpected, so I was kicked out. For film and television funding, Isaac, again, I have no idea what you want to do. Do you want to set up a studio? Do you want to create a series? You know, so it is not that easy to just have one word thrown at it and then you know exactly where to go. Possible to find fashion retail. Retail is always challenging, I can tell you that. Do you collaborate in projects or only do business education? We also do collaborate, yes, is for ICT funding where I can get, where can I get it? In general, same people, what I mentioned before. It just, like I said, it depends on lots of different aspects. Your own contribution is in these cases an aspect. How strong are your offtake agreements? Agricultural farming, yes, we've done plenty of that. Land Bank is back in business again, and they are still having some portion as a grant available. So that's definitely, if you are in South Africa, that is good. Petroleum products, diesel, petrol, plenty. I don't know, Cise, Kike, Azarela, pulse on funding hydrogen from coal and nuclear energy sources.
Can I answer that particular, because I want to give advice, not necessarily an answer. Okay, cool. I can't remember whether it was Asave who was asking that particular question. The best platform to actually access that is exactly what Dagmar had said, I think, on a third question. Somebody will ask a question. Get in touch with Tia, and if you do not know who to contact in Tia, let me know. Tomorrow I will share, number one, I'll share the presentation, the recording of this session with Dagmar's contact details. And if you need Tia's contact details, you can either WhatsApp me or email me, because you would have had my email from this session. That being said, they are not the only people who assist entrepreneurs in that space. Even CSI could be one of the organizations or institutions that you approach. Particularly, Dagmar, I'm going to steal your show for a little bit. Dagmar dwelled a little bit on building a pitch deck that's very compelling. That's what I do for a living. So I teach this for free. So I don't charge for what we do. We don't cost anyone. But Dagmar helps you polish that so that it makes sense to the financiers. And she puts together the documentation that supports that pitch deck to make sure that when you sit in front of a financier, they get it and it's fundable. At the back of this, I'm sure somebody is going to ask me, how do I get involved into your course and stuff like that? Most of you guys have been in the course that we offer as a Wadhwani Foundation. That being said, doesn't mean that you cannot re-register to take up the course. It's a 14-week course, so it's elaborate, because we want you to immerse yourself into the detail on how to create a viable product or how to scale that product and how to get the financing correctly to make sure by the time you get in touch with Dagmar, you have a sense of where your organization is going. I think I'm going to stop right there.
Okay, lovely. Let me just see. I like to answer as many questions as possible. Is it Samsung SM? Okay, asking is it possible to fund a business that is less than 6 months? Yes, in general, even startups with no track record, you can raise capital. It of course depends then how strong your access to the market is. Lutando, thanks very much. Okay, is there anything else at the moment? I can't scroll back too long because the system kicked me out here. Retail, I answered. Yeah, okay, no, I think that's it at the moment. Yes. Number one is, whatever we are sharing, we're sharing lots of information via our newsletter, lots of information through my Monday morning webinar. That's all free of charge. Of course, I have a team here of 12 people. They all want to get paid at the end of the day. This is a business, like you want to set up your own business. We are charging for it. And you are more than happy to just get in contact with us. also use our newsletter that is free. But like I promised you, you're getting the link where you can sign up for the newsletter and download the pitch deck guide. And then I know lots of people are staying there in for years and years and say, Dagmar, I love it. I'm always on top of everything. I know what's happening. Other people say, I had enough. I'm out of here. That's fine too. We're paying, of course, for each and every newsletter subscriber in our system. So if somebody thinks we are not adding any value, that is absolutely in order for us. Yeah, I definitely want to say thanks very much to the Wadhwani Foundation, to Charles, to Xolela for giving me here this opportunity. I definitely had fun. Love the questions at the end. If there's anything you want to know, contact us. Feel free to contact us on our website. You can also contact us. Brent is there on the other side, able to guide you to answer some first questions so that we can then see what to do. Okay, fundingconnection.coza. Yes, that is our website. Pleasure. Yes, you all get the presentation. No worries. But the presentation is not worth it. The book is worth it. Yeah?
To everyone, thank you so much for attending. Dagmar, as usual, I'm humbled to have you here, and you're so insightful. Hopefully, most people got the value from this session. Thank you, everyone, and have a great afternoon. I'll see some of you at 5 o'clock. I'm teaching at 5.